You know, the older I get, the more I realize is the time that I spend, where I put my efforts, where I put my mind, my focus, the things I ingest really end up shaping my mindset and shaping the way I see and live my life. And I know that seems so like, duh. We get into this conversation about how time literally shapes the people that we are and where we put our time. So I hope if you're one of those people who struggles with procrastination or scrolling too much, I think this is going to really bless you. I hope you guys enjoy it. Here is Nights at the Round Table. And welcome to another episode of Nights at the Round Table. It's your boy, MANWELL'S. I got my queen to the right.
Hello, we're sharing a microphone again.
If you're watching us on YouTube, man, please subscribe. If you're not, please subscribe, hit the bell so that you'll get notified every time we drop a video or I drop some new music. And we got B in LA. Right now we're in the Nashville.
Nashville.
Enjoying the cold weather. I'm so happy right now.
Manny keeps the house at sub-zero temperatures like all day long. And then I'm like, can I please turn the heater on? And he's like, babe, it's already 62 degrees. How much warmer do you need it to be?
Because
are you wearing coats in the house?
We're like,
I wear 2 robes.
No, here's why. Because it's freaking Christmas time, so I don't want to be wearing. She'll keep it so hot that I'll have to have on t-shirts and shorts.
68.
Too hot. I want it 63 and under. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be feeling like Christmas.
All my little dedos are frozen. Everything. Just frozen toes, frozen fingers, frozen everything.
Frozen hearts. You're so funny. Hey, today we're going to be talking about where you spend your time and how it changes and affects the way you view life, you view yourself. Me and B were having a conversation before this, and B, what were the thoughts that you were sharing when you said in your text, you catch yourself and what you think of the most, like the vain, shallow things consume most of your thoughts. It's a reflection of what has been shaping you, you know?
Yeah. And like, I've really been, so I guess I'll start off with this is like Kanye West. I know I've shared this before. He did this interview on this show called Drink Champs. And the language he was using was that he's saying there's an algorithm, right, that's happening in your life. Like apart from the Facebook algorithm or Instagram algorithm, there is a culture that presents its values, its ideas, its worldviews. And what we can do is to attempt to either A, add to the algorithm, or B, shock the algorithm, like to wake other people up. And it's funny because I've really been thinking about that. And like, I've really been thinking about this algorithm. What it attempts to do is to shape our lives in shallowness. Mm-hmm. The intention behind the algorithm is not for you to go on this deep journey within yourself. It is for you to see everything at this level, be okay with it, not only be okay with it, but that's the thing that you got to strive for. Most of those things, as we would know, would be very materialistic things. It is like, you have to reach this point. You have to have this job. You have to have this spouse. Like it's all these sorts of things that are constantly being bombarded into your life. And without you realizing it or not, this is shaping you. But it is in a shallow way. Mm-hmm. And even I think too, even just the pace of the lives that we live are so busy. Like we don't even have time to think.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we don't actually give ourselves the space to actually go deep in our own thoughts and to let our mind wander and to go on journeys within ourselves. And I was even thinking about that earlier, last year during the pandemic, but even this year, like it happened to me again because I hustle so hard. I'm an achiever. But when I got hurt earlier this year and all I could do for a month was keep my legs straight and be on my back and just be on my couch or be in bed, I realized, oh my gosh, now that I'm here, I actually have to confront things that are happening within myself. I can't escape into the busyness of my schedule to continue to stay at a shallow place in my life and in my heart. That when you actually start to give yourself space and you actually take a rest or you actually take a Sabbath, now all of a sudden that's an assault on the algorithm. But now all of a sudden you're now creating space so that something deeper can form you inside.
Yeah.
And so that's always the battle, is we are either being deeply formed in the right things, or we are being shallowly shaped by the algorithm that we're surrounded with on a daily basis.
That's a quota right there.
It's funny because that happened to me. I started another podcast. I'm sorry, guys. I keep starting podcasts, but
I'm starting a podcast too.
Yeah, I told the fans about yours coming, but I if anybody that knows me, I'm very much a supporter, right? So I have a bunch of talented people around me that I want to encourage to chase their dreams. So I'll do it by any means necessary to help them. So with my boy Josh out here, I was like, bro, he wanted to always start a podcast. And I, not jokingly, but I was like, hey, if you want to start one, I'll show up so that to help you keep you accountable. I'll show up. Same thing I told you, B. And so he took it as serious, and we're 6 episodes in. And in this episode, I was telling him, because something happened out here that hasn't happened in a while, but like I was doing my cardio at the gym, and I typically like to watch things that make me smarter. But for whatever reason, the past couple of days, I was watching, and this was like a beginning of or at the end of last week, I was watching like frivolous videos. So the one that caught me the most was I watched a whole hour and a half of Brittany Renner and No Jumper podcast, which No Jumper is always like just a bunch of thoughty stuff.
Wild,
yeah,
off the cuff.
And I'm like, I sat through the whole thing, and when I finished, I was like, oh my God, what did I gain? Like, I didn't even get smarter. Like, I respect Brittany Renner, a bundle of Brittany or whatever. I respect her for her hustle and, what she tries to do and stuff, and, but I didn't learn anything about me or my goals or moving forward. Yeah. I just got lost in the algorithm, really is what happened. And afterwards, I asked myself that question. I stayed with my thoughts, and I was just like, man, I didn't progress this morning, and I want to progress every day that I wake up. And so I got really down on myself, and I got kind of upset, and I was like, no, never again. So for the last week, every morning I've been waking up, and I'm like, what am I trying to accomplish in my life? I'm trying to be a real estate tycoon. So I've been watching real estate videos every morning, at least one, before I go into any other thing, either real estate or into some kind of psychology, spirituality, something to further the things that I am doing and what I care about. And ever since I put that little adjustment and that little remix, I've been getting so much wisdom in real estate, and I've been finding deals. I've been finding ideas. I'm in the middle of maybe putting another offer on another house over here in Nashville, where it's one of those buy one and you can build two on them, because I found it just by, I'm like, no, I'm going to put my effort in the right things. And then I just literally, before we got on the phone, I'm about to maybe buy another house in Los Feliz out there in LA. And we may be able to pick it up for a really cheap amount, because it's a distressed need. And I'm just like, man, the second I started like trying to readjust the algorithm, right? Then good stuff started happening, or at least the possibility of good stuff. Yeah. And I think that's the most important thing, is not getting lost in the algorithm. I always bust Ange's balls because of this. I'm like, baby, you scroll a lot. Like, what could you be doing if you weren't scrolling? Like, just that little bit of effort towards whatever it is that you're going for. And it's weird how you attract like the universe to bring you opportunities in that thing that you're really, really wanting to do, become, or dream about. It's weird. And now I learned little itty bitty tools to just make me that much more successful in real estate. And all it took was just committing like 30 minutes of my day. And now I like exponentially grew in my knowledge of real estate, which I thought was amazing. And you want to know what happened? I think the reason I got lost in the algorithm, if I could be honest, I've been putting so many offers on houses and not winning them.
Yeah.
that I got kind of defeated and a little bit sad. I felt like we've worked so hard to have this certain amount of money, and even that money isn't doing anything for me because I keep trying and not getting anything. So I feel like the whole world is passing me by and I'm just here and I can't do anything. So I think, no cap, like I got a little just sad and kind of like, well, screw it. Like, whatever. It's just I'm going to keep losing at this thing. And for a split second, I just got lost in that defeatist mentality and then got swept in with the algorithm because it just really does. Like I don't know how you.
Yeah. The other thing too, I realize like times when I get kind of like just caught up in the algorithm is like, and again, I hope people understand too. It's like, just because you're caught up, we're not saying like you're bad or like, you're the worst of us. It's just saying that there's better available. It's more, hopefully it's like seen or felt as like an invitation or encouragement into moving forward. But I know the times that I get swept up most in the algorithm is when I'm bored. Like it feels like such an easy thing to do. Like, it's like, I'm so used to being in the algorithm in my day-to-day life that it's like, it's so easy to just kind of like jump back in that pool. Like it's like that pool is kind of warm and I'm so used to being in it. Like, let me just hop back in. And so it's funny because like this year, everyone right now this week has been posting their Spotify wrap-ups of like, this year you listen to this amount of music and stuff. And Maddie and I would share a Spotify account. I'm mostly an Apple Music kind of guy, so I got my own thing going on over there. But I've listened to more audiobooks this year than I have any year before. And I realize I'm like, oh my gosh, me allowing that space, like I feel like I'm tapping into something deeper than I have ever in my life. And it's like reflective of where I've spent my time listening and the things that I've been consuming, because like the things that you eat are the things that you become. And like, I know if I'm constantly, and again, I of course have my guilty pleasures, like different TV shows and stuff like that, but that's not my main diet. You know what I'm saying? And so the main diet are the things that I am striving to become. And those are the things that are like, that make me better, And so like, for me, it's like, obviously where you spend your time is a reflection of what you treasure or what you value most. And that's the other thing too, like most of us outside of work, like granted, like you just can't be like, I'm not feeling this. This is not empowering me. I'm going to quit my 9-to-5. Like you got to do what you got to do for your livelihood. But I realized that most of our lives outside of our jobs are structured in a way for us not to go deep. And that's why the algorithm has you where the algorithm has you, is because your life is structured in a way that does not give you the time, that does not give you the space, that does not empower you with resources to actually be formed in a deep and meaningful way.
That's deep if you really think about it. If you really think about your life, like what's being said right now. I know so many people. I was having a conversation with a friend and she's so busy working that the most fundamental, important, necessary things for her life to make her a healthier and deeper individual, she just doesn't have time for.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, oh, the things that will actually deepen your ability to grow, not only mentally, but financially, like you're not giving time to. And it's because there is a feeling that you need to engage in a certain way in this algorithm. Guys, when we talk about algorithms, we're talking about the mindset that is prevalent within the culture that you currently reside in. So when we think of the American culture, we think of TikTok, we think of Instagram, we think of social media, we think of Facebook, we think of quick and fast pleasure, we think of flexing, we think of comparison. I understand that we're lucky and blessed to have the things that we have, but those things also are like our biggest crutches, because you can go to a poor you can go to a poor village, in a different country, and they have 40 people to look at. That's about it. They don't have an entire world to compare themselves to. to ante up and be like, man, I'm not as successful as such and such billionaire. It's like, bruh, there were times where you didn't even know what that person was doing. You didn't even know to compare yourself to this person. And I think it's imperative for you to learn to disconnect and really focus on spending time investing in whatever it is, whatever that dream or that goal is, because it's just way too easy to just lose your time. And you look up, and I always make fun of you because of that, right, Queen? Just the other day, because you were like, oh, I got to look at my hour. And I was like, didn't you tell me you were doing that last week?
I get caught up with the algorithm of my life when I'm out of routine. And it just so happens that my entire life is out of routine. Especially this year.
Wow.
When I don't have a regular schedule or a regular, I wake up, do this, do that, whatever. It's hard for me to stay connected, to stay in alignment, to stay inspired, to stay focused. I do well already since we've been back here to Nashville. I've been coming back to the studio, doing my workout videos, doing my yoga stretches. I could have done that more at your house when I was there. I could do that every time I'm in a hotel room. I could do it anywhere where I'm at. It's YouTube. It's on my phone. I could do it anywhere. But if I'm out of regular routine, I won't do it. It's so hard. Even if I'm in my hotel room with nothing to do in a little town that has nothing to do, I'll find everything else that I need to do before I do that workout. And by the time I muster up the motivation, the self-discipline to do the workout, it's like 20 minutes before I have to take a shower and get ready for my show. And so I find that when I'm out of routine, it's really hard for me to stay motivated, encouraged, and all the things. And then also a little bit having to do with my Enneagram type. I listened to an interview recently, and they were talking about 9 Enneagrams. And this one guy was sharing that he was coming off the road. He's a musician. He was coming off the road and getting home, and he knew he had this thing to do. It was a deadline. He had to get it done when he got home. But as soon as he got home, he started mowing the lawn. And his wife was looking at him like, what are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be doing this thing. And for him, it was like a part of his process of like a daunting task. I have to do everything else before I do that thing. And it's part of in his like wiring and his personality. And I noticed that I do that in anything that I'm doing. I know I have to go sit down and watch this video exactly like he was saying. I was supposed to watch my old hour of comedy and take notes on my old hour. I've been doing this for a couple weeks. It's 1 hour. It's taken me a couple weeks to do. Granted, I'm sitting not just watching the hour. I'm pausing, taking notes, rethinking things and all that kind of stuff. But even today when I was going to sit down, I was like, oh, I need to wash these dishes. Let me wash the dishes first. Oh, you know what? I didn't take the dog potty. Let me go take him potty really quick. Manny said he needed me to put my clothes away in that room because they've been in that room for a long time. Let me go put those clothes away. I'm doing everything else except for the thing that I know I'm supposed to be doing. And I know once I sit down and do it, I'll be in it and I'll get it done. But there's something within me that it's not a mere procrastination. It's not just, oh, you're procrastinating. It's something in my wiring that it's like such a daunting task that I have to work myself up to do it. And I don't know what that is. And within that, I'll get on Instagram and I'll start scrolling because it's like a release from the pressure of the daunting thing that I have to do. I'm not just making an excuse for myself for scrolling, but I'm just saying that is, I notice my things that I do. And that's one of the things that I do.
Yeah.
This is why I do everything so early. Because there's no one awake. There's nothing going on at 5 a.m. So if I get all my important things done early, then I allow myself to do the stupid stuff at the, middle towards the end of the day. It's like I don't even feel bad. I've got all my learning in. I did all my podcasting. I did all my video editing. I did everything early before people wake up. And so when the rest of the world is up doing dumb crap, I can enjoy the dumb crap because I got everything that was important done.
Yeah. You know what I do at 5 a.m? Sleep.
I know you don't know it.
I'm up an hour later, but yeah, it's so interesting, man, because like it feels weird saying, and I don't know why I keep stuttering, but I'm a Christian. And
why am I stuttering? I get it, man. I get it.
And I like the person that I idolize most is Christ. And like, I believe that he represents the best of what humanity can become. And that's what I'm like striving to be when I say I'm a Christian, is like, I really look up to this Christ figure and I want to become more like him. And I mean that from an honest place in my heart, to the point where I actually want to restructure things in my life so that I can become that. Like, I don't want to say I'm a Christian because that's what I grew up believing. I don't want to say I'm a Christian because that's kind of like the safe thing to say. Like, I really actually aspire to be like Jesus. And I realized that, especially this year, I've taken a step back from social media because I realized I was spending way too much time on there and it was not conducive to the thing that I was saying that I was trying to become. And so like, for me, I realized like biblically, like these people lived completely different lives. Like I think about like how miserable we'd have been if like Moses is leading us out of Egypt and we just out here in the wilderness for 40 years, no Wi-Fi. Like, like you just think about how much time these people had to think.
Oh, I'd be so pissed circling for 40 years.
You'd be like, man, I hate this shit. This shit sucks.
I've seen this tree so many times.
Oh my God. And then you think about like the person who was responsible for writing most of the Psalms, which is like still such a beautiful book that is I'd say a collection of poems, right? And here David is like spending these times like just out in his pasture with just like wildlife and just like vibing, just like thinking, all these sorts of things. Like, I'm like, yeah, the busyness of our lives is not conducive to developing these type of people. So it's like actually taking intentional steps to slow down and create space in your life. Like one of the things that I did last year that felt not like intuitive to me was actually taking a Sabbath, because I was like, yo, like you're telling me that I'm turning down some really good money on one day just so I can do nothing, Like that doesn't seem like, I'm like, yo, let me stack my bread right now. This feels nice. And it felt like not intuitive to me, because I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to make more money. And I remember taking that day off and realizing all the stuff that it was doing to me. And it was actually allowing God, it was actually allowing relationships in my life to actually form me in a deep way. That if I would have just remained busy, like I'm not giving myself space to like go deeper than just being shallow level. And I mean, more than anything, I despise being shallow. Like I beat myself up in the moments that I feel shallow, or my ego starts peeking out in a weird way.
Yeah.
And so I think, man, it's like our pace. Like, and again, you could still be busy and hustle and still yet create space to like be formed in a deep way. I'm not saying it's either or. I'm saying you're able to do both. All of us are. It's just a matter of now being creative and actually being real with ourselves. Or what are the things that I can actually take out of my life or take out of my schedule that I can actually have this moment to be with myself or with loved ones. So
yeah, I used to always, when I would hear people say, older people, or like, you know, you read like these millionaires, billionaires, they're up so early, meditating, doing their routine. And I'd be like, no way, bruh. Like that sounds like not fun at all.
Yeah.
And the idea of giving up sleep or going to bed early, to this day, like I still get upset that I have to go to bed at 9:30 in order to wake up at 4:30. Like I get kind of mad. I'm like, I wish I could just stay up because I want to watch movies. I want to watch whatever. Yeah. But it's been a minute. I don't fall asleep to movies anymore, right, Queen? Like I don't.
I'm so proud of you.
I don't do any, like I literally am just like, all right, I have to go to bed just so that I can maintain this level of output and importance to me. Cause it's like, man, okay, it sucks that I have to go to bed early. I can't watch all these movies I want to watch, but yeah, those things don't really bring me closer to what I need to get done anyways. I need to have the energy and the ability to wake up and knock stuff out. Like today was a busy day. I was able to wake up early, at the gym by 4:30, worked out for like a good hour and a half, came back, shot 2 podcasts with Josh, had 2 coaching sessions, and then took a nap, and then did these 2 videos. That's like a pretty packed day. Tomorrow I got another 2 that I'm shooting in the morning.
What time?
At 8. Okay. No, 7:30. Then I got to drop the car off and whatever. But the point is,
you have to take me to the airport. Then you drop the car.
I know, my queen. But the point is that I understand now what they meant by prioritizing the most important things that will cause that depth in your life. Yeah. Because now I really do feel like I'm feeding myself like good stuff, you know?
Man, I need more self-discipline. That is one thing that I recognize living with Maddie and Brandon is y'all got so much done, and you go to work, you run your errands, you have your coaching, Maddie has her job, you come back, you take Blue out, and then still at the end of the day, y'all have magically read books somewhere in your day, and like, you know, all the hot shows that are out, like you're up to date on all the new shows. And I'm like, when did y'all do that? When did y'all read all those books and watch all those shows? Like, I've been here with Blue and Bonto all day and I haven't done nothing.
But Queen, you have really bad time management skills. I mean, she has the worst time management skills ever.
You know what? And it's like you have the most amazing discipline I've met of anybody, of your ability to meditate and journal and write your stuff down. I'm actually
That's all I do.
I am truly like challenged by that because I am terrible at journaling. I tried to do it and it lasted 2 weeks and I was like, I remember this stuff. But then it's like somehow figuring out how do we take that, because you're so good at that. Like you're literally the best that I know at that. And then somehow like continually getting it to all the
other parts of my life.
Yeah.
It's just doing it. You just got to do it. Look, I never thought I'd be able to go to sleep without watching TV.
Hey, look how close we are. Do you want to kiss me? Again, back to being in routine. Since we got here, I have my book, The Alchemist, that I'm reading. Every day I've been reading it and so looking forward to just sitting down and reading it. But there's something about having like routine that really helps me. And the road life is hard, man. I don't know, man. It's one of my struggles.
No, you're right. Because when I have routine, it's easier to eat healthy. It's easier to be healthy. It's easier to like be mentally healthy. Whenever I'm traveling, it's a late day or you're whatever, gone connection here, boom. By the time I get to a hotel, I'm like, I'll eat anything. I don't even care. I'll eat anything and I'll blame it on the fact that it was a long day, a long traveling day. And that, I think, I get it. Routine does help. Anytime I settle into, like whenever I come here or when I settle into a routine, whenever I was there, same thing. I loved waking up early, going to that gym, working out, shooting the pot. It was something about that really structures your life to where you feel like you accomplish things. Everybody feels good when they set a goal and they accomplish it. Like it feels fulfilling to be able to do something like that. So I think that's what routine does. It's probably what you feel like you're checking stuff off, and that feels amazing.
It feels great to check stuff off a list. Manny was laughing at me the other day because I was writing a to-do list, and we had talked about we were going to go see the movie House of Gucci, and I wrote that on my to-do list, go see House of Gucci. And he's laughing. He's like, why are you writing that on your to-do list? And then like the next day I saw a meme because I was scrolling, and the girl was saying something like, I put on my to-do list, wake up, have coffee. And people are like, why would you put that on your to-do list? And she's like, well, look, it's 10 a.m. and who's already got 2 things done? Me. And I'm like, I so relate to that. Like I can tack things off and I feel so productive.
Yeah.
What?
Wake up, take a shower, breathe.
Yeah, inhale, exhale. I'm doing so good today.
Take my 20 vitamins because I'm getting old.
Oh my God, so many vitamins.
It's a whole process taking my vitamins. It's like, it feels like work in the mornings.
Yeah, too many. And then I got to work myself up to like want to swallow that many pills and be like, oh, do I really need vitamin D?
I know I'm taking all these vitamins right now and I'm just like, it's too early for me to be taking 15 vitamins and special powders.
Essential powders.
This water tastes like shit. I hate this. But I got to do it.
Oh my gosh. Yo, look guys, we're going to be honest with you. As far as time shaping us, man, we really do feel, man, I want you guys so badly to think about where your time is going. And this is such a like simple, basic thing to think about, doing time audits. But when I tell you, man, I get why the successful people do it, because it really does change your entire life. And right now, I'm living like the proof of it, where it's like, oh, this is so important. And along with that comes being responsible with your time. So the Queen has to leave on a flight tomorrow, so we were going to make this one a short one, a good 30 minutes to get in and out, give you guys what we thought about this, and hopefully you guys respond, because we'd love to hear what you accomplish when you actually do a time audit and really hold yourself accountable to investing in yourself. I'm going to, and since we're all friends, we can do this, and everyone who's listening, you can keep me accountable. Me and B always talk about this. We talk about doing things that we really enjoy, getting out in nature, going and just doing stuff that breaks our routine, that breaks our algorithm. We talked about it last year. We didn't really get to do it this year. A lot of it was, I don't know. We can blame a ton of stuff, but 2022, I don't care if I'm going by myself. We are going to interact, or at least get ourselves into nature, or do things that are a break from the algorithm, that are a complete disruption to our own life, and see what kind of fruit that produces. I'm kind of excited. I want to rent a freaking cabin for no reason, and just go up there and not concentrate on my phone. And just like be in the wild, just enjoy it, wake up, meditate. You know what I'm saying? Like just break the freaking algorithm. Even for myself, even that comfortable routine, I think it will be good. I know we're planning on doing Europe in May, which that would be awesome to do some podcasting. You know what I'm saying? And then have the backdrop be like Paris.
Ooh-wee.
Hey, you don't think that's exciting, babe?
I'm trying to go on vacation.
I'm just saying, if we did one to show people Paris, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, hey, look at this. You guys notice this? This is the Eiffel Tower,
That's
huh?
the Eiffel Tower. I don't know if that was French. Anyways,
wow.
We love you guys. And we pray you find a seat at the table. But if you don't, you're always welcome at ours. Cheers.
Cheers.
Later.